Here's a quick overview of the element of art called line. Line is an extended mark made by a tool. So in our drawing and painting classes, that could be a paintbrush, that could be a pencil, that could be a pastel, or any other number of things. These are the types of lines that we will focus on the most, especially these three. Outline, though, is just a line around the outside of an object. So just know that one too. But a contour line, let's start with that. A line on the surface of an object. So if we are looking at this picture, there's lots of lines on the surface of these tools. Any lines that curve across the surface or define the surface of an object, even like on this, I think is a doorknob, even a reflection that is shown on the surface, any lines drawn for that are contour lines on the surface of an object. This is an example of a cross contour line drawing, but these lines are drawn going across this hand and this arm. They help define the surface, and that's why they're considered contour lines. Again, lines that define the surface of an object. Another one is varied line, a line that changes in visual weight. This one again has a lot of varied lines as well. Any lines that go from thin and then change to thick and then back to thin. There's a lot of those going on here. Visual weight. So this part of this line is a thick, heavy line, and then it changes to a thinner line. Changes in visual weight or in thickness. Implied line. A line where two surfaces come together or overlap. This one is a little bit trickier. There's lots of different ways to look at this, but here's an example of implied line. So these dolphin shapes do not have an outline, right? There's no line around the outside, yet the edges are defined by these other blue shapes surrounding the shape of the dolphin. So the edge of this dolphin all the way around can be considered an implied line because it's not really there. And an even better example in this same picture are all these white, thin white spaces between the dark blue and the light blue shapes. All of those are considered implied lines as well because they are stuck between these other shapes, and it helps it make it look like there's a line there, but there's really not a line there. There's really nothing there. It's just white paper. Another example of implied line. This one's maybe a little more obvious. See this diagonal curving line? So again, that's not really a line. That's just the line where these black and white shapes come together, and it kind of makes it look like there's a line here. All right, implied line. It's not really there, but it kind of looks like it's there. Here's another example of varied line. And I think this last one is another example with a lot of varied lines. There's a few contour lines on there, like defining this rock, the edge of this rock, the bark of the tree, but mainly this picture is showing lines that vary in weight. So again, that's varied line.